Hey everyone, this week's video we're going to be going over specifically the difference between buy-to-let and HMOs and why our clients would either buy a buy-to-let or specifically a HMO. Now, welcome to Deals Friday. My name is Nick Clark from Jenic Property, helping you profit from UK property. Now, in a lot of our videos, what we have been doing over the last number of weeks on Deals Friday is specifically showing you breaking down deals that we've actually done, deals that we've got going through at the moment, and ones that we've also got in negotiation. We've also married that up with Refurb Wednesdays, where you can actually see the progression of each project, which is great news for yourselves. But the biggest confusion that a lot of people may have is like, well, why do I actually go with a buy-to-let, or why do I go for a HMO? Or they might be thinking, well, what is a HMO and what is a buy-to-let? The key things is that we're going to want to make sure that we get across today is that you have a clear understanding of why you would personally buy a buy-to-let for long-term wealth and why you potentially want to actually have a look at a HMO for accelerated wealth. So the key difference is, what is a HMO? Okay, so a HMO and the difference between a buy-to-let. So a HMO is a house with multiple occupancy. Effectively what you're doing is you taking a house and you potentially splitting it up in rooms. So it could be 4 bedrooms, 5, 6, 7, or 8, or even more than that. And what is, you actually rent out each room individually on a weekly basis. So the HMOs that we're renting out currently for our personal properties and our clients, normally they rent out at around about £120 per week per room. Okay, so if I've got £120 if I've got a 4-bed, then I'm going to be getting £120 per week per room. Okay, so the difference with the HMO and a buy-to-let really is a buy-to-let, you letting out a full house. Okay, and what would happen is you've got an AST. So an AST is a short hold tenancy agreement. Okay. Excuse me. And basically what happens is on a HMO, you would normally generally have, say, a tenancy agreement on each individual room. Now this depends on the actual size of the property. Okay. So it completely depends on the size of the property, what your mortgage company wants you to have as well. So it's important for you to understand exactly what you're doing when it comes to HMOs, or at least have a team that understands how to do it so they can guide you through the whole process. Okay, that's why we'll be able to take a person who has no experience in property, that wants to redefine their retirement by replacing their income one property at a time, but they have no experience at all. What they do is they leverage us and our teams and our experience to be able to do a HMO. Now, the great thing about buy-to-lets is it's very, very stable. Okay, so if you think about, say, your money coming in every single month, okay, your buy-to-let, you're going to buy it, you're going to refurb it, potentially refinance if you bought cash, and what you'll be able to do is you're going to have that tenant in for a very long time. Okay, so your tenant might be there for, so maybe 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years, so, or longer potentially. And what you'll have is you'll have a lower turnaround, and generally what you have is that you'll have a more predictable income over a long term of time. Okay, the only difference, the negatives on this is obviously you would only say cash flows, say around about positive profit per month, so maybe £200. That's minusing your mortgage, that's minusing, putting aside 10% for maintenance costs, for future maintenance costs, 10 to 12% on your management fees, your insurances, etc. So let's say it was cash flowing £200 per month. The benefits of your HMO is you're able to accelerate. So when you're wanting to replace your income, okay, let's say you want to replace your income, say £2,000 per month or £3,000 per month, okay? If you wanted £2,000 per month, you would need 10 properties of these, okay? So 10 assets. Good thing about it is you've got 10 assets, they're going up from potential value, you adding long-term wealth to your portfolio, but what happens is your £200 per calendar month, you have to have a lot of them to be able to replace your income. That's not a bad thing, okay? We're not trying to get rich quick here. What we're trying to do is we're trying to build long, sustainable wealth over time that you can replace your income to redefine your retirement one property at a time. It's very simple, okay? But ultimately what HMO does is you're able to accelerate your cash flow. So let's say, for instance, this one would probably cash flow you positively, the properties that we're sourcing at the moment, say £800 plus per calendar month. That's positive, that's profit every single month, okay? Now, compared that to there, I would have to have, myself, I'd have to have 4 properties, okay? So I'd have to have 4 properties, so 4 buy-to-lets compared to 1 over here, okay? So now, if I was looking at, say, a 4-bedroom HMO, we're probably looking maybe all in for £120,000, £130,000, okay? That's all in cash, depending on the property, depending on the location, okay? If you're looking at a 3-bed, probably say like £90,000 to £100,000, you'd probably be all in, okay? Which is great news for yourself, because if you cash flow in, let's say on a 3-bedroom, £120 per week, that's about £1,500. If you are all in cash for about £100,000, this performing on a 15% yield basis, okay? So it means your money is working for you at a rate of 15% per annum return on your property, which is great. Compared to the banks, phenomenal. But when we look at your buy-to-let, you're probably looking at, say, 7% yield, okay? Which is also great, okay? And what you have to look at is saying, okay, well, do I want something long-term, predictable, and sustainable? Or do I want something to accelerate my wealth and then build a foundation of buy-to-lets underneath, okay? Just HMOs you've got to bear in mind is that you will have a lot of turnaround with tenants, okay? So you might be, say your tenants might be there for 6 months, they might be there for 12 months. A lot of our tenants in our HMOs are staying with us about 14 months. With the actual properties, just because we deal with contractors, high professionals, you know, they're in the area for quite a long time. We deal directly with the actual companies rather than dealing with individual ASTs. So we would have like an AST directly with the company, and it would be for the whole house, okay? And your tenant would be a very well-established company, which is great. Yeah, you would be going for some maybe social housing, maybe going for working families, etc. But what I like about buy-to-lets the most is it is very, very sustainable. So you have to look at, so how does this apply to you and your strategy? Okay. Number one is you have to get clear on what is your actual monthly figure that you must actually replace. When you understand what that is, then that gives you a first indication. Okay, when you know where you are, where you're at, then you're able to kind of establish what strategy is going to be better for you. The second thing you have to understand is what is your capital starting point, okay? So how much capital do you have to start, okay? A lot of our clients who buy buy-to-lets, they're normally having, you know, around about anything from £35,000 or above. And then also depends on their experience. One of our clients, he's bought quite a lot of properties through us already, has a large amount of sums, but he doesn't want the hassle of HMO. Now bear in mind, a lettings manager is going to manage it all for you, but they like their buy-to-lets, keep it simple, they just put a tenant in and they forget about it, okay, which is great. But if you want to, then you also got to look at, say, what is the time frame that you want to replace your income in? Now we deal with a lot of realistic clients, which is great. They're not looking to get rich quick. They're looking to build wealth over long term and build solid attainable wealth. So they might say clients who've got, say, over £150,000 or £100,000, they go for a HMO, for instance. What they'll do is they'll say buy the HMOs to accelerate their actual replacement of the income, okay? And when you're actually doing that, what you can do is you can bring down your time to be able to replace your income, okay? So the important thing is you've got to understand is say, right, okay, what is my level of risk, okay? Now bear in mind that what we do for a lot of clients is they can be completely hands-off, okay? Literally they can just be signing paperwork and dealing with mortgage brokers and solicitors, and that's pretty much what they do. We take care of everything for them, the refurb, the whole place, everything. And once that enables you to know that you've got confidence to be able to go in and buy properties in areas that do rent out and turn out a positive net cash flow per month. But also knowing that you lower your risk as well, because you're backed by experience, 8 years of experience with over 400 properties that we've actually done, rather than say you trying to go and wing it and find it through an estate agent and think it's a good deal on paper. So the important thing that what you've got to really decide from there is, once you understand how to replace what your figure is, what capital startup you got, and the time frame you want to do, then it's like, okay, what strategy do I want? Okay, buy to let or HMO. Now, if you were able to buy, say, just one of those a year or two of those buy to let a year for the next 10 years, you know, that's some great wealth, because just remember, your rents are going to go up over time. You're also going to have potential capital growth as well. And then also you're going to remember is that your tenants are paying down your mortgage if you've got a repayment mortgage. But if you're not and just got an interest only and you're just purely wanting there to reinvest your capital, okay, you can really spiral affect it, okay? So when we're actually talking about in Deals Fridays, say buy-to-lets or HMOs, I hope this gives you a better understanding. If you got any questions about that, put some comments down below, because I'd love to actually see how other content that we can bring out to you as well, to be able to understand what's going to be the best strategy for you. Now, if you want to profit from UK property and you know that you have to redefine your retirement, take control of that for yourself so you can start replacing your income one property at a time, then simply head to jenicproperty.com. That's jenicproperty.com, where you can book in a free call with one of our team to see how we can help you progress forward with your property career, okay? The good thing about it is we're able to take off the whole, you know, you can be completely hands off the whole process, and we actually find the properties for you, we negotiate the properties, we take all the way through solicitors through that for you as well, and also deal with the actual refurbs, and you'll be completely hands off in the whole process. If you want to check out any refurbishments that we're currently doing, head to Refurb Wednesdays on our YouTube channel, and you can just type in Nick Clark Property and you'll be able to do that. Otherwise, head to Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, and you can follow myself at Property with Nick Clark, and I shall see you soon. Thanks very much for watching this week's Deals Friday special. My name is Nick Clark from Jenic Property, helping you profit from UK property one property at a time.